So I'm kind of just gonna show the cost breakdown here of how much like insurance paid and how much I paid and all of that stuff and how much the actual surgery total was. Because I know in previous videos I said it was like 300,000. I didn't know that it was like over 1.4 million dollars. Okay, so this is the first price breakdown slide, the very first, like the initial billing of what just the surgery is going to cost, not the hospital stay, not anything else. So obviously you can see it's like almost 1.4 million. Then it says that's like the initial billing that they were like, this is how much the whole surgery is going to cost. So 1.4, and then in network savings, and then paid by Blue Shield. So they covered $240,000 of the 1.4, which obviously is not much at all. And it says patient responsibility 6,000, right? So that's just for like this price breakdown. But okay, and then we have this. So basically $65,000. Says paid by Blue Shield $300. Patient's responsibility $57.59. Okay. So I actually paid, my mom wrote a check out of pocket for my surgeon. He had his own surgeon fee.
So, in honor of my 10 weeks post-op, I'm going to do a cost breakdown of my whole surgery. So, the surgery right off the bat was $6,000. It included cell saver, and that's it. It didn't include no massages, no faja, no nothing. And then I paid $400 for the OG faja and the fibergirl. I do not recommend, do not waste your money on that.
It's an
I
interesting
didn't do a
phrase
recovery home.
because
I
investments are
just bought an
supposed to grow
Airbnb and
in
my friends
value.
took care of me.
And unfortunately,
So the Airbnb
bodies
was
don't come with
$1,600 and the
guaranteed
flights
returns.
added up to like
Welcome to the world
$1,000.
of Botox.
Now
Work.
massages,
A place where beauty
I'm
has become so
like
optimized,
27 massages
so normal,
in,
and so
and I
financially
probably
accepted
spent about
that
like
people are taking loans,
2,100 so
opening
far
payment
on
plans,
massages.
draining their savings, and putting
Oh,
themselves into
fajas.
debt
I forgot
to
about
become
fajas.
prettier.
I probably spent like
Not
$1,000
healthier,
on
not
fajas.
safer,
I probably got like 5
prettier.
different fajas. It took
And
me
before
so
anyone
long
starts
to
shopping their
find
lip
the
filler
right one.
needlessly,
Like
this isn't about
fajas is a
criticizing
lot.
cosmetic
The foams
surgery.
and
People
boards,
can
I
do
probably
whatever they
spent
want
like
with their own bodies.
$200
This is about
on
something
foams
else,
and
the
boards.
economics.
I think
Because
we're
no one
at
talks
like
enough about the money.
12,000
Everyone talks about the result.
something.
No one talks about the
But
invoices. You know what's
needless to
interesting?
say, I still
Cosmetic
had to
surgery
pay my
content
bills
online
on
has
top
become
of dropping all
weirdly
this money.
casual.
Like
Someone
this
posts, come
shit
with
is
me
not
to
no
get my
joke.
BBL. Okay. And all of a sudden, cut to cute music, matching pajamas, airplot vlog, clinic tour, recovery room, review, the end. Meanwhile, what just happened medically was significantly more serious than the vibe suggested. Social media has somehow turned surgery into lifestyle content. It's presented like a weekend getaway, not an expensive medical procedure. Nobody shows spreadsheets, nobody shows the interest payment, nobody shows the consultation where they quietly realize beauty costs more than their first car. Nobody feels themselves calculating whether they should postpone buying furniture. Nobody uploads POV, you're explaining to customer service why your beauty loan payment bounced. That's not aesthetic, but it happens because cosmetic procedures are expensive, very expensive. Let's talk numbers in a generous hand.
My 360 lipo with the BBL was $4,000, okay? My arm liposuction was free because I got it on a promo. And then they charged me $600 for my thigh liposuction, $500 for the chin liposuction, and then I had to pay for the garments also. So the little bit of extra cost comes up to the chin garment was $60, the arm garment was $60, and then I got one free surgical faja, surgical garment for the procedure. That's how my total got to $5,220. I didn't know what else there was. I didn't know if possibly, you know, I was like, yeah, no, I'll throw another $1,000 in there for my trip because I've paid everything. Wrong. That's so wrong. You got a lot more to pay. Because the facility told me that they offer massages. They were around, I want to say, $80 for about a 45-minute massage. I spent about $240 with the facility for massages. When I came out of the massage, they told me that then I needed to get a BBL pillow, which was around about $125. After the massages, the fluid would go down, and then I would need to go down a size in my faja. So almost after every massage, I had to size down into a new faja. So I ended up buying an additional 2 fajas, which was about $300. They're about $150 each. Now let's step back from the surgery center. My Amazon purchases while I was at home for this surgery were around $1,200.
People hear words like Botox and assume it's minor, but many cosmetic procedures aren't one-time purchases. That's the trick. People imagine transformation. They forget about the maintenance. Botox fades, fillers dissolve, and skin treatment requires multiple sessions. Body procedures require revisions. Breast implant often aren't forever. Weight fluctuations happen, bodies age, taste change, meaning beauty can quietly become a subscription. Imagine subscribing to your own face. Annual face maintenance. This sounds ridiculous until you realize some people actually budget for procedures the way previous generations budgeted for electricity. Now you don't need to save. You don't need patience. You don't need years. You can split payment, installment. You know, buy now, pay forever, which is interesting because debt has always been easier to sell than waiting. People who would never spend $10,000 upfront suddenly feel comfortable spending smaller monthly amount. Psychologically, it does feel different, but financially, your money is still leaving you, only slower, and slower pain often feels safer. That's how people wake up and realize they have 3 active payment plans and a face that still needs maintenance. But the financial cost isn't even the hidden side. The hidden side is everything beauty content edits out. The recovery, the downtime, the complications, the touch-ups, the regrets.
I have wanted to share my story of Botox poisoning for years. I tried Botox for the first time back in 2020, it's about 6 years ago, and I have a history of autoimmune disorders. I, in 2020, was feeling great, and I just thought, kind of like everybody else, hey, I can make this like my 80-20, you know, like my balance, like I'm doing everything else right, you know, I don't put a lot of toxins in and on my body, I can handle a little bit of Botox. So in May of 2020, I went and got very, very conservative, just 3 units on each eye, right around my crow's feet. I didn't do anywhere else. I just wanted to start very small and just make sure I didn't have a reaction. And I seemed to do fine with that. So I went back later that year in December and I let them do the same 6 around my eyes. And then I let them do a little bit in my forehead. Well, that evening, after I got it done in the morning, that evening I'm laying in bed and all of a sudden my husband had just fallen asleep and I was just kind of sitting there and I was like, man, I cannot catch my breath. And I started Googling like side effects of Botox, and turns out like literally the actual like botulism poisoning warning is that you can stop breathing, have trouble breathing, have trouble swallowing. And so that's exactly what was happening to me. I had pretty much an immediate reaction.
What's up, motherfuckers? Today I went to get some Kylie Jenner lips from Dr. C. I brought my receipt from 2020 where I got a syringe of Restylane Lift for $850. Dr. C came in with the Restylane Lift, and clearly he is not an athlete, but he's a damn good injector. He makes patients pay before because he has been scammed in the past. $1,020? Absolutely not, sir. I whipped out my receipt quite literally from 2020. He gave me this dumb lecture on inflation and how things cost more, but I'm literally just a girl. He said, "Gad, here, I want Juvederm instead." He came in with my Juvederm and hit me with another receipt. He shows me, $1,020 for Juvederm too? No, sir, when I got this in 2020, it was only $800. I showed it to him and he said, "What do you want me to do about it? I'm just a doctor doing my job." But obviously I had to get the filler anyways.
Beauty inflation. Every generation thinks the next one looks more polished, but social media has accelerated this. Beauty standards aren't staying still anymore. Once upon a time, attractive meant attractive. Now attractive means curated, enhanced, filtered, optimized. The average person isn't comparing themselves to celebrities anymore. They're comparing themselves to influencers, other humans like themselves. And these influencers are also comparing themselves to other influencers. And suddenly, ordinary features start feeling inadequate.
There's a lot of talk about the same face epidemic, or like influencer face. It really is crazy. I started working at a bar in Soho. Everybody looks the same. I see 30 of the same faces. Like, it's I'm not saying they don't look good. They're gorgeous, but they all look the same. We really are in a same face era, same face epidemic, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Because comparison has no finish line. There is always going to be someone prettier, richer, more symmetrical, more enhanced. Beauty optimization becomes endless, which is wonderful for business, but terrible for your peace of mind.